I love life. And when I tell you I love life, I mean I really love life. Probably more than you watching this.
And yes, there is a point to me saying this. It's not just to warn guys that try to press me and ask me, do you value your life? Which, if you didn't quite hear earlier on, I do very much so value my life. So please don't ask me stupid questions. Because one day I might just be in a fuck around and find out mood and say, no, I don't value my life. Just to see what you do to me. But that's neither here or there. I'm going to talk about a dark time in my life. A time in my life when I didn't value my life so much. When I didn't like living so much. But just keep in mind, this is a Carlton Walace YouTube video. So you're not going to be hearing about no deep, dark, serious, traumatic experiences. Okay, maybe a bit of that is a lie. You will hear about a traumatic experience in my life, which made me stop loving life. And this traumatic experience was a year-long struggle. It lasted from September 2021 all the way till September 2022. And that year-span struggle didn't just affect me, but it affected millions of people across the globe. To be honest, it was a shared trauma. But what perplexes me is that it's not talked about enough. Our experiences aren't shared enough, even though we've all been through it. So I'm here today to talk about it, of course. And I'm talking about the worst 365 days for anime. Because damn near everything that came out during this time was absolute dog shit. So before even 2022 came around, we had a preview at the end of 2021 about what majority of 2022 animes would look like. And that's when there was a decline in the quality of anime being released. Like, obviously there were some cool shows like Demon Slayer, Jobless Reincarnation, Komi Can't Communicate, Ranking of Kings, and you had the One Piece episodes dropping weekly. The One Piece episodes weren't too great, but they got the job done. But everything else on that full lineup was absolute terrible. It got to a point where I was watching a show called Tacked Up Destiny. Huh? And many of you probably don't know what that show is. And for very good reason. And I hope you guys will never ever be unfortunate enough to watch that show. And I apologize in advance for even bringing up the show. The show is about these humans that can use instrument powers to summon instrument stands that take on the form of humans that look weird. I know my explanation of the show shit, but trust me, the power system is mad unique and good. The animation is amazing. It's probably the most visually pleasing show I watched ever. But the writing is absolutely terrible. Like, the show generally had so much potential, but the writing really fucked it up. But I was paying around £8 a month for Crunchyroll, so I had to get my money's worth and start watching some shit. And this time period was probably one of the better lineups throughout this year, because as I said, it was just giving a preview of how shit 2022 would be. Because it gets a lot worse. Because as soon as we came into 2022, everything just went wrong. Demon Slayer became mid. AOT's final season, it was alright. One Piece was slowly on the decline. And what made it worse? There was no good new shit coming out. They were just spamming those shitty isekais. And I tried to keep an open mind and try to get into them. But who the fuck wants to watch a show about how a realist hero rebuilt a kingdom? That shit is not interesting to me. Like, genuinely, the highlight of this period of anime might have been World End Harem.
I beg your pardon?
And then April 2022 was the final straw. One Piece got boring. There was Spy X Family and Tomodachi Game. They were cool. They weren't amazing. It generally got to the point where I had to cancel my Crunchyroll subscription. I was genuinely wasting my money because nothing good was coming on. And the new seasons for the shows I did like, they were just bad. So I finally realized I could be investing my money into smarter things like Nikocado Avocado's OnlyFans, which I'm still invested to till this day. And it's one of the greatest investments of my life. Life-changing, phenomenal things. And then by the time it was the summer season of anime, like around July times, I didn't even bother watching anime. I knew that shit was just going to be terrible. I don't know what came out then, but nothing good came out. One Piece was boring. I think I even skipped all those One Piece episodes because of how boring it was. Every other anime that came out was absolute dog shit. It wasn't even anime that was boring. Life became boring. I was sad damn near every day. I was craving for dopamine. Because these times here, I wasn't even on TikTok like that. I stopped stroking my shit, so there was nothing really enjoyable going on. I wasn't getting any bitches either. So at that point, I was sly, reconsidering my existence. Cause life was just pretty meh and just mad boring. Like, literally, all I did was go to school, come home and play 2K. And then when I get bored, I'll sit in my bed, look at the ceiling and listen to music. And by the time October came, life became better. The animes dropping started to be amazing. That year-long drought us anime fans were in ended. The animes dropping were amazing. Chainsaw Man, One Piece was getting good. There was Blue Lock, My Hero Academia, and just so much more. It was like every day I was watching 2 new animes, and on top of that, then times there, I was getting a little bit more female attention, gained a little bit of a social life. Life was good. I started looking better as well, started feeling better. Life just generally became amazing, and it just went up from there. And although this video may not be the most serious topic, it still goes to show that even though the sun may set, even though there may be tough times, just like how the sun will inevitably rise, good times will inevitably come.